What is going on, y'all? It is Jake here, and yet we have another exciting interview for you guys today. Today, we have the one, the only, the current North American Muay Thai kickboxing champion, Ashley Findlay, that's going to be joining me inside the StreamYard studios just for a few short moments. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm very excited to say the least. I got up this morning, and I'm thinking today is going to be a great day. We get a chance to have Ashley on. And I will tell you this, the story about Ashley is just so incredible. It's very awesome and it's very amazing. So can't wait to get a chance to have her on. But before we get a chance to do that, let's go ahead and send some shout outs to our great friends at rmgfx1.com. They have some incredible merchandise. They also have some Fighting Now gear. If you guys want to get a chance to buy some Fighting Now gear, head on over to rmgfx1.com. And while you get a chance to buy some stuff, don't forget to use promo code FIGHTNOW to save 10% off your entire purchase. Once again, that is rmgfx1.com. Use promo code FIGHTNOW to save 10% off your entire purchase. The link is in my bio on Instagram. Now, we have some incredible podcasters. We have some incredible shows that we got to talk about, and we got to show some love to. So, what? Let's go ahead and kick things off with Mom's Basement MMA. Mom's Basement MMA has some more interviews coming up y'all's way. They have some incredible stuff to do. They also have some gear that you guys can get a chance to buy. Head on over to Mom's_Basement MMA on Instagram, and head on over to the YouTube channel Mom's Basement MMA to check out all their previous interviews. Next up, we have Liz with the Z podcast. Lisa Solar is back at it again with more interviews. She just got done doing some fighting interviews after the fights were over at XFN 41. So head on over to Liz with the Z podcast and get a chance to check them out on Instagram. Also, we got a chance to show some love to our great friends at Air Media Productions. In the booth, they have some amazing interviews. And they've also reached 5K. I mean, if you want to get a chance to be a part of this family, I encourage you guys to go do so right now. Air Media Productions on YouTube, Instagram, and of course, whether you guys get a chance to listen to your podcast, whether it be on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Google Podcast. Last but certainly not least, we also have Fight Bananas. Fight Bananas is who you see on Instagram. One of the guys I got a chance to talk to, David Aachen. So incredible, so awesome, and they've shown so much amount of support to the Fighting Out page on Instagram. And of course, I encourage you guys to go check them out. Fight Bananas, crazy about fights on Instagram, and of course, whatever social media platforms they have. I think they have a Facebook, maybe a YouTube channel. Not one. I think they do. Not 100% for sure, but either way, though, they do have an Instagram page, Fight Bananas on Instagram. Now we get a chance to have the pretty much the shout outs out of the way, and let's go ahead and talk about this fighter, this incredible, amazing fighter, and Ashley Findlay. I'm telling you, I've heard so many incredible things about this amazing fighter who had a title fight a couple of weeks ago, and due to the situation that happened, she won the championship, but not in a way that a fighter would want to win a championship. As a fighter, you want to get a chance to earn the championship. You want to get a chance to, win for that belt, whether it be a decision, split decision, knockout, whatever it may be. You just want to be able to fight for the championship. You want to say, well, hey, at least I won the championship by fighting, my opponent. Unfortunately for her, we'll break down all the details, but yeah, you get where I'm coming from. Ashley has worked very, very hard. She is a tremendous fighter, and I can honestly tell you this, from the amount of people that has reached out to me about Ashley, is so incredible. I've heard so many incredible things about her. I've heard from previous opponents of hers of how incredible she is. I've heard from friends. I've heard from teammates of how awesome Ashley is. So if you guys are watching this live, I encourage you guys, if you have any questions for Ashley, send them in the comments. We'll get a chance to check out all questions for Ashley. So please do so in the comment section right now because we're currently live. But if we're not live, then either way, though, be a part of the conversation. Be a part, just get a chance to watch this entire interview because I know Ashley's ready. I'm ready. All of her friends, her teammates, and supporters is ready. And I do got to send a shout out to those who suggested me to interview her because I was looking for more fighters to get a chance to do more interviews with. And the first person that came to mind was was Ashley. So shout out to Teresa Salmons. Try not to butcher it, but Teresa Salmons who made the suggestion and told me, hey, you need to message Ashley and see what she thinks. And right off the bat, I immediately messaged her. She was in. And so I'm really looking forward to get a chance to share, to get a chance to listen to her stories, to listen to how much she's had to overcome with the amount of obstacles she's had to face right in front of her. And the thing is about with this fighter is I've got a chance to check out a couple of highlights, and they're really really awesome. They're really incredible, and I feel like this is a great time to get a chance to follow Ashley and just check out the heart, the will, the desire, everything there is when it comes to all these amazing fighters. So yet, if you guys want to get a chance to follow Ashley, then yet head on over to Instagram, and then here is her Instagram name. I encourage you guys to go check her out, go follow her, because there's so much that we are going to get a chance to talk about. Sorry for the stutter. But either way, though, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are ready because I sure as am ready to have this interview with Ashley Findlay. So, yeah, real quick, before we get a chance to have Ashley join in, let's go ahead and head on over to our first advertisement of the day. My apologies about the technical difficulties. If everything's good on your end, please let me know down in the comment section. I would love to get a chance to hear some feedback. But yeah, so Jay and Trey podcast, I had their show last night and got a chance to pretty much be somewhat the host of the show. Got a chance to be the main guy. And I do want to send a shout out to both Justin and Trey for allowing me to have the opportunity. It was a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of stuff. So head on over to TNC Sports Talk on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course TikTok at TNC Sports Talk, and get a chance to watch the Jay and Trey podcast pretty much 5 days, Wednesday to Sunday, and of course pretty much it is like our kind of like our Friday to Saturday on Monday, Tuesday with what we're trying to be able to get a chance to take a little break. Then we get back right at it on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, because we have Christine Vicens that's going to be joining us. We also have Serena De Jesus is going to be joining me at 5 o'clock Eastern time. And, of course, we have Kate Clemens that's going to be joining me. I might do an interview tonight because, unfortunately, we was scheduled to get a chance to have 2 interviews in one day. But unfortunately, that interview might be rescheduled. I will let y'all know all about the details later on the Instagram page at The Fighting Now. So, but either way, though, we're live. We're getting ready to have Ashley Findlay that's going to be joining us here soon. And I know she is ready. I'm ready. And I hope you guys are ready. So if you guys are in the comments, hey, say something. We'll love to get a chance to answer your comments, answer your questions, because what we're about to what's about to happen here is get ready to have a warrior that's going to be joining us, a woman who has been busting her tail, who has been in some brutal battles in her fighting career, and someone who wants to be a true champion by defending this North American Muay Thai championship that she recently won. But hey, without any further ado, let's help me welcome in the current North American Muay Thai kickboxing champion. She is the one, she is the only, Ashley Findlay.
Hey, how's
Hello,
it going?
Doing good.
I'm
How are
good.
you?
How are you?
You doing all right?
I'm doing very well.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to get a chance to join me here. So I was recently talking about this. You recently won the North American Muay Thai Kickboxing Championship, but yeah, we'll get to that later on. But I want to save that for last because I know
Okay.
how much that has frustrated you, and we'll get to that later on. But you started fighting for quite some time, and there's always been something that has inspired us. So, what inspired you to start fighting?
Um, I guess just the workout of it, the aspect of it. My cousin, who's my coach, Trisha Salmons, who owns the Winnipeg Kickboxing and Muay Thai, she's been doing it for over 20 years. And she's really inspired me to get into it, to do it. A lot, as well as some other local girls who fight as well. We have a great Sarah Carter, who's a Pan Am champion, gold medal champion, who's inspired me, who trains out of NAC. That's what's inspired me to fight, is a lot of local girls.
A lot of local girls, to say the least, and yet you've got a chance to be part of some battles. But before you got a chance to do that, you've had to experience some training, but yet, and I want to hear this from your own opinion. What has been the most difficult part about training in your own perspective?
The training is the fun part. Like, the fighting is the fun part, but training for me is fun. I enjoy training. I really, really do. I find it community based. I love when my team gets together. I find we all have like this great attitude when we're training. We're all at our best. What's been difficult for me is not being able to fight, like getting fights and then girls backing out when we're there, literally there. This weekend, I've had girls not show up to fights. I've had girls back out the week before a fight. So that's been the most frustrating part.
Oh man, I can't imagine, Joe. The week before your fight, it's like I'm ready to go. I've been doing my training, and then it's like, well, unfortunately, they had to cancel. I mean, does that irritate you a lot?
It happens, like, and it happens, but when you don't know why, like what happened this week for a title fight, when somebody literally backs out an hour before you're supposed to go on, and you don't really have a reason why, is super frustrating.
Yeah. And I will tell you this though, and I've got a chance to ask you about your team. It seems like your family is just one huge family, to say the least.
We are definitely. There's blood family there. There's our gym. We are very family, I find, orientated gym, which is awesome. We train together, we have fun together, we cry together when those times are needed as well. But my coach is my cousin. She's also one of my like best friends. My husband trains with me as well. I actually brought him in. He used to be a basketball player, and then after some injuries couldn't play basketball anymore, so came on into Muay Thai, something that we could do together, and we've really grown in our relationship, and being able to fight each other, it definitely helps. Especially being able to spar each other when you're mad, and it's like, okay, well, we'll just go deal with this at kickboxing and get it over with.
so instead of just talking it out, we're just gonna punch it out at sparring. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And then when we get home, we'll be like, yeah, okay, I deserve that shot.
It's like whenever he looks at you, he's like, yeah, you see what you did here? Yeah, I definitely deserve that. So I'll make sure to wash the dishes for next time. So
exactly.
Oh man, but yeah, I want to get a chance to talk to you about an individual who suggested me to you, that being Trisha. I mean,
yes.
And I can tell that you two have so much, friendship, the relationship you guys have. I mean, how much does she mean to you?
A lot. She means a lot to me. She's a very independent woman. Like, she runs a gym. She works full time. She's a mother of 4. She travels a lot for fighting, so it takes a lot of her time, and she's very committed to her students. She really is.
That is incredible. That is incredible. A mother of 4, and then she's teaching. She's doing all these things. Wow! Shout out to Trish right there, because I don't know how she would do it, but I admire that, to say the least.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about your fighting and how much you enjoy it, and there's something that motivates us to continue doing it. There's something that motivates us to get out of bed and go and train and even prepare to fight. So, what has been your biggest motivation that you have right now?
My biggest motivation is my background. It's my culture, where I've come from. I'm half Black and I'm half Indigenous. So come from 2 cultures that are really, really oppressed and are really fighting for our rights, fighting for our dignity, fighting for just to be recognized for the stuff that's happened to us in our past. And that really motivates me. Growing up, I was always told a lot, oh, you'll never do this, you'll never graduate high school, stuff like that. And it was just always like, no, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, when I got pregnant at a young age, I was told, well, you'll probably not really make it anywhere. You'll end up being on assistance and whatever. And it was like, no, that's not who I am. That's not who we are as people. We are more than what you think of us.
Yeah, I do agree. And it seems like your whole entire life you've had so many people that doubted you. Did you ever just use those doubters as motivation to even continue with what you're doing? So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime that someone says something or I feel it's something a negative or something that's not pushing me, it definitely motivates me to keep going. And I do have a very strong support system behind me as well. I grew up with a lot of really strong women, and that's really inspired me.
that's really awesome to say the least. And if anybody is watching this right now, and if you had doubters in your life, I mean, Joe, you got to be like Jay Z. You just got to brush the dirt off your
Yeah,
shoulder,
brush it off your shoulders
and
and
to say the
keep it
least.
going.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, though, it's your life, not everyone else. It's your life, and
Yes.
What Ashley's doing is very incredible because like I mentioned, her whole entire life she's had doubters, and look where she's at now. I mean, she's already a champion. She's winning fights left and right, and I believe there's more incredible things coming your way.
Thank you.
So. So looking back on your journey, your entire fighting journey, what has been the toughest fights that you have been a part of?
Uh, well, I've been fighting for 4 years, been training for 6. I would say my toughest fight was against Sarah Sentak. I'm probably not saying her name correctly.
Mhm.
Out of Calgary, that was my toughest opponent. I remember hearing a lot of stories about her, how great of a fighter was, how she's been in the game for so long. I really look up to her as well. She's an amazing person in and outside of the ring, and me and her have formed like a really great friendship after fighting each other because we had such a mutual respect. And anytime I look back on that fight, it was literally respect from the moment we went into the ring to respect at the end, and then even communicating with each other after the fight. And it was funny because probably about 2 or 3 days later we woke up one morning and we both messaged each other and we were like, look at me, and she was like, yeah, look at me as well. And we both had the exact same injuries on our faces, and we thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, I messaged her earlier today, and she sent me a picture. I should have had this on here, but it was when you both of y'all's nose was bloodied up, and she was like, I have respect for her, and she told me some incredible things about you. And by the way, I find it a coincidence that you suggested me to her. Well, good news for you is that she will be interviewed at the end of March.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Amazing.
oh
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So let's go ahead and get down to it. So your
Okay.
big title fight was announced, and before we get to the fight part, yo, how excited was you to get this opportunity to get a chance to fight for a 145-pound championship, to get a chance to win some gold or whatever the belt was
Yes.
around your waist?
It was it was amazing, right? The biggest fights that I've had to date for my fighting career. I was like extremely excited. I was very excited for Arena Wars and for Matt Phillips to put me on. Not being a Canadian fighter, not knowing much about me, but him getting to know who I was just from how my training style and stuff like that was. It was very. I took it very seriously. I was up training at 5 a.m. I was running every day, and then I would go back to training. I was sparring 3 times a week. Like my training was very intense for like 6 to 8 weeks to come going into that fight.
And I definitely do admire that because for you, you're trying to be able to get a chance to win your first championship, a part
Yes.
of your career that you already have, and that is very incredible. The fact that he booked you on, not knowing exactly who you were, but the fact that he trusts you and said, you know what, I want you in the championship fight. I
Yeah.
think this is going to be a fight for generations to be talking about. Well, you had the weigh-ins, and what people don't know is probably about maybe an hour before the fight, you was ready to go, and then unfortunately your opponent decided to back out,
Yes.
and then so I want you to open up to me. What was going through your mind when this whole situation happened?
I honestly kind of blanked for a little second. Like I probably for like a good 10 or 15 minutes I kind of blanked out, and I just was like I was enraged. I was extremely upset about it. I don't think I've been that mad before, just because of the whole leading up to the fight, like what happened at weigh-ins, her inappropriate behavior, like just not wouldn't weigh in on the day before. We had to weigh in the morning of, which was totally fine. I came in 3 pounds lighter than I was, so I was a little bit upset about that. That you made me cut more weight when I didn't have to. but I was trying to be the better person, have good sportsmanship, we're going for a title fight. I wasn't going to let that deteriorate me from still wanting to go into it. And about an hour before the fight, her and her team came and approached us as we were just before we were about to go get downstairs, go to our corners and start getting ready. She just comes up, her coach and my coach were talking, and then I just kind of looked over and I asked, like, are you guys not going to fight? And then he says, no, we're not going to fight. And I just said, why? And she's like, oh, it was talking about some sanctioning stuff that was going on, which was absolutely not happening. The fights are sanctioned. No one's who had already got knocked out is not going to be allowed to go back in the ring again and fight. I said to her, like, really, like, after all the stuff that you started at weigh-ins, this is what you're going to do? And she just said, yeah, I'm not going to fight you. I'll fight you any other place, any other time. And well, we're here now. This is what we're here to do. This is a championship fight. And I stood up out of my chair and she literally got up and she ran out of the arena. And within a few minutes, Matt came over to me. I went over to him. I explained to him what had happened. We both went outside to go look for her. She was gone. Completely gone. She didn't even apologize to me. Even if she went and said, I'm sorry, Ashley, for doing what had happened, I didn't feel it was okay, I could accept that.
Yeah.
But she didn't even apologize to me. She apologized to her supporters and just disappointing them. And I thought that is a little bit inappropriate, fighter to fighter. You know what goes into a fight. I dropped 2 weight brackets for this fight. I normally fight at 155, 160, and I went down to supposed to be fighting at 143. I went down to 140. Like, wow. Yeah.
I remember, coming home, and I remember how excited you was. Hang on, I don't know what's happening here, but let me try to fix that. I don't know. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it's a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but just it happened. Anyway, so I remember coming home, and pretty much I seen Trisha's video of you walking into the ring, and then you got the championship round race, and I seen the other amount of disappointment. Hang on, I don't know what happened, but I seen the other amount of disappointment in your face, and talk about winning the championship that you wanted to fight for instead of winning like that.
Yeah, I wanted to fight and show what we had put together in the training camp that we put together. I wanted to show the skills.
Yeah, and I feel like that in my heart. I don't know what's happening. Why is there like a little noise here and there? My apologies for the technical difficulties. And talk about this. I mean, do you think that for someone who's supposed to be fighting you, instead of just like, I understand apologizing to the supporters, I understand that, but you could have at least apologized to the person that you're fighting against and the promoters for booking this fight that was like, how long has it been since the announcement? Like what, 5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks?
Yeah, like it was a while. Like we knew we were going to be fighting in, I would say, the end of December. So this fight was already had put together for months previously.
Well, I really hate that for you, to say the least. And I don't know what's happening as far as the technical difficulty side. I do apologize.
No problem.
Hopefully, but what's the one thing that you want to do now? The fact that you're a champion and you can be able to say, "Hey, as a champion, I want to go defend this belt and show everyone that I'm not just someone that just won a championship for no reason. I'm a fighting champion."
Exactly. I'm a contender. I already have a fight lined up for April the 9th for someone who wants to challenge me. So actually, this kind of was like a blessing in disguise because I've been getting hit up for fights more than I was before it happened. So everything happens for a reason. And yeah, I'm the champion right now, and I'm going to contend the belt, and I'm going to remain undefeated.
And yet, that's not bad, to say the least. And I feel like I don't know what's happening. I do apologize for the noise. I don't know what's doing this, but I feel like with you have the ability to become a champion. You have the ability to be able to go out there and say, "I'm going to win. I'm going to be undefeated." And this championship means a lot to me. And if you want it, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to take it from me. You're going to have to earn your way to take this championship away from me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, looking back, now the fact that you're a champion, is there any other opportunities that you want to have outside of defending your championship? Is there any other tournaments? Is there anything you want to do, to achieve your goals in this year?
I would TBA obviously is a huge tournament to be able to do. I want to get my fight record up a lot more. I want my now that the Muay Thai is in the Olympics, like that's what my goal is to make it to the Olympics before I'm too old.
Well, once again, I don't know what's happening with the noises. I do apologize. It
No
didn't
problem.
happen earlier, so. But either way, though, and if there's anyone that's watching this and they're wanting to get involved with the fighting, is there any other suggestions you want to tell them? And I mean, hang on,
Sorry.
hang on. I really hate that this happened. I do apologize.
Yeah, I can't hear you anymore.
Hang on 1 second. Not really.
Yeah, I can't hear you anymore. 1 second.
All right. I don't know what happened, y'all, but all right. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear and see me? Please, hopefully we got the situation fixed.
I think it's still like that. It's still like that.
I have no idea what's happening, but as I was trying to say, is there any other? If there's anyone that's trying to get involved with the sport of Muay Thai or combat sports, do you have any suggestions you want to tell them?
Just do it. Just do it. You're never too old. You're not too young. You're never going to be ready to do something until you actually do it. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it.
I definitely do agree. Well, if you guys want to get a chance to follow Ashley, here is her Instagram name on here, Missy Chris Headphones. And Ashley, other than the noise that you're hearing, I definitely do appreciate you. I hope you had a great time, and I definitely want a chance to have you back later on in a few months. All right?
Yeah. Take care. Thank you so much for the interview. Really nice to see you.
No problem. I will send you the link, and I'll definitely talk to you in a few. All right?
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Don't know what happened. I wish I knew what went down, but my apologies for the technical difficulties. That is it for us here at the StreamYard Studios. Once again, follow me at the Fighting Now, and we'll see you next time.